Well, welcome today to Tomorrow's Luxury Living. I am your host today. It's brought to you by Baldwin Co. And I'm hosting this episode today because I have the privilege of knowing Jamie personally and have been keeping up to date with all his content, all the things that he's releasing, and been really inspired by what he's doing, and suggested to him that it would be really cool for people to be able to just connect with who Jamie Baldwin is. Yep. The man behind the brand. That just rhymed. How good was that?
It did, that was good.
And so it's my great privilege just to sit down with Jamie and really just have a chat. Welcome to your own show.
Really, yeah, this is really weird, but exciting at the same time. And just so everyone knows at home and watching this, I deliberately said to Matt, because as Matt mentioned, he's known me for a long, long time. And I wanted someone, whoever's going to interview me, I wanted them to interview me completely transparently. So I said to Matt, you go away, think of whatever you want to think about. And so I am completely unscripted, completely have no idea what's going to happen.
It's true.
So it's exciting time. So it's all over to Matt, and you're going to get the most realist, raw side of what I'm all about. So yeah, thanks Matt for being here.
Just before Jamie was actually saying, he took a deep breath, and I'm like, you all right? Are you nervous? He's like, yeah. So this is the first time I think Jamie's ever been nervous. So it does happen. Come on.
It does.
Hey, so tell us about, we know so much through the content that you're delivering, your expertise in different markets and the depth. And one of the things I really love about the content that you're producing is it's deep. Like, it's not like scattergun trying to cover so much width. It's so much depth. And, I think one of the questions that I'd really love for you to answer, just so people can get to know who you are, like I've had the privilege of doing, is who is Jamie Baldwin? Tell us about your family, tell us about your kids, tell us about things that are important to you in your life.
Well, yeah, that's how much do I go for? So I'll start by saying I'm a married man, been married for 13 years, and have a beautiful wife, Amy Baldwin, and 4 amazing children. Eldest son Jeremy, then my daughter is Samantha, and then I've got Timothy, and then Emily. So 2 boys, 2 girls, and
that's a full house.
It's a full house. It's a bit like you got 4 kids.
Yeah.
So you know what it's like. Yeah. So it's even more crazy when you got COVID-19 going on, and you're in full lockdown with homeschooling and all that. So we just have to, you deal with it however you want. But where do I get the question was, Matt, where do I get my,
tell us who you are, tell us, give us an insight. Like, what do you do outside of business?
Outside of business, I love mountain bike riding. So if anyone knows me, I'm crazy. I love, I follow the EWS, the World Enduro Championship, and I love mountain bike riding. I travel around the world, whether it's New Zealand or northern Queensland or Tasmania or overseas. Whenever you see me on a holiday, I'll probably have my bike on my back, and I just love anything extreme. I'm passionate about that sort of thing. In the gym, I love mentally keeping fit and strong, so I'm doing anything I possibly can to keep mentally strong, keep fit. I'm involved in my local church, which I really enjoy. I love the community side of life and so on. And so I just love helping and serving people. It's what I've always been about and always will be about.
I think one of the qualities and characteristics I love about you, and I've heard your wife say this too. I've heard her say it, and I've seen her say it online and stuff like that, just around how passionate and all in you are. And so when you are in something, whether it's business, fitness, mountain bike riding, his bike's unbelievable, by the way, or his home gym's unbelievable, his physique is unbelievable. Don't quote me on that, but anyway.
I do send the occasional pics.
But you're what's really inspiring is just when you're in something, you're really in it. And I've loved watching that. I've loved watching that in you as a dad, as a husband. I've loved watching that in fitness. Like, it's inspiring to me and with my dad bod. Yeah. And that's a joke, but it's true. Like, you're sitting there and I'm sucking in my guts right now to make it look good. You know what I'm saying? But nice. You're like shredded. But all jokes aside, it really is inspiring just how how all in you are on stuff, and passion is a big part of just the DNA of who you are.
Yeah.
I've seen that come out in you through business, through anything you really apply yourself to. And my question, and maybe it's a completely selfish question, but can you explain to us like where that passion and that drive and that energy comes from? Is it a part of your family? Is it something that you maintain? Like how do you keep it at go all the time?
Yeah, it's a really unique. Yeah, thanks for the question as well. It's probably been something I've been asked a lot of way through my life, and yeah, I like people said, you should do this, you should write a book, do this, and I actually I have written a book on that exact topic because I think that's a big driver, and hopefully one day it might come out. I think it was more mentally for me, but I think that the driver for me personally, Matt, drives that, I guess, if you want to call it the success side of me, or the passion to do more and better and so on. My father was a big part of that. Born and bred in the United Kingdom, and my dad was brought up in a home where council flat, 4 or 5 brothers and sisters, and literally worked in the shipyards at 14 years of age. And so the hard work side of it came from obviously at a later part when as a youngster watching my father provide for his family relentlessly in all sorts of circumstances and seeing what he went through. And then obviously from there was like my own schooling experience. I was the youngest of 4 boys, which is always interesting because you're always the last at everything and getting beat up at home by your brothers. And so I think for me was the struggle of competing. And then, at school, I couldn't read and write. And I never gelled well in the educational system, which I've talked about in various platforms over the years. And literally, people telling me a lot of my life through school that I won't make anything of myself, and that the best result for me would be go get a tertiary degree and just do the bare minimum with yourself in life. And I think that fired me up to go, right, no, the world is not going to put me in a box, and I do believe in hard work. That was instilled into me from my father, and then literally being told that I wouldn't make anything of myself gave me that probably a drive that was unpredictable. And then, to be honest with you, I've talked a little bit like the community involvement in my church, but even at a very young age, my faith gave me such a platform to start harnessing hard work. And also the mindset that I wouldn't be in with most of my life to sort of fight against the grain. It gave me comfort and also a strategic sort of mindset to go, hey, let's harness that emotion. Let's harness what I'm feeling inside and let's put it to good work. And so I've instilled so many things I've come across in adversity in my life to make sure that I'm always serving others, and also wanting to be the best person that I can be. So that sort of helps. Yeah,
no, absolutely. And I think I've also observed about you that you're like purpose driven as opposed to kind of circumstance driven. And so like one of the things I wanted to ask that might help people that are watching this is like, how have you, it's like in this lockdown where it's almost like business isn't as usual. And for some people are losing their jobs, businesses are closing down. Maybe there's an entrepreneur or a startup or someone in business that's watching right now, and they just they have shut down. Yeah. And you've essentially faced the same sort of challenges.
Oh, definitely.
But it's like you've gone, the circumstances aren't going to change me. I'm going to just pivot in this moment. Yeah. And it's like what has come through to me, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but is like how purpose driven you've been as opposed to like COVID driven. Yeah. Pandemic driven, you've been purpose driven. And can you give us an insight into like how you're faced with the shutdown that everyone else is faced with? We're
in the same boat. Not to cut you off, we're in the same boat as everyone else. And you're right, Matt, like we're faced with the same circumstances, the same situations, and our business is completely shut down. And we've, like you mentioned before, we pivoted through this, and I think that's probably, you mentioned I'm purpose driven, and I think that's really important because I realized at a very young age is that constantly in life, whether it's COVID-19 or whatever you face, you're always facing something, whether it's a problem, and there's always a solution to a problem. And I talk a lot about high level thinking and solution based, and people go, and that's what I kind of mean is that, and I think you just took the words out of my mouth, Matt, is that you have to come to a point where that you have to pivot and be purpose driven. And I think, there's been times in my life where I've actually hit rock bottom financially, of course, but also emotionally, in situations like COVID-19. But very quickly, I haven't let my mindset, haven't let my thinking just go take complete control of my body and go, that's it, you're finished.
Yeah.
I've actually took a position going, right, that is what it is. Now, what can I do to start again, or to rethink my way through this, or to be purposeful in the situation, and that's where Baldwin Co TV and Tomorrow's Luxury Living, all those sort of things came from. Was like, hey, people have always been asking for content and more about sales, more about vision, more about this, and this is a time where rather than sitting around home doing nothing, I could be actually purposeful. And putting the things that I've learned, and I'm one of many people that have learned so many things in life, out into the open air, so people can do it with me.
Yeah, love it. So, what would you say to someone that's watching right now, entrepreneur, startup, they're in business, maybe they lost their job, whatever the case might be, maybe they're just got a strategy in place to make it through this season. Who knows how long it's going to go. But what would you say to them right now in this season that around purpose and around that whole idea that we've just been talking about, to just encourage them and to help them remain in that place of purpose?
Yeah, I think we've just come across a few things as well. Like a few things that I do for mental fitness is do fitness. Do whatever you love doing. I've talked about it a number of times. You don't have to ride a mountain bike. You don't have to go to the gym like some people do. There's so many things. So find something that you're also passionate about outside of your work, and literally just take ownership of that thing and love on it and make it part of your life and your world. Like my family's obviously one of those things, as well as the gym, and just being able to bike ride with them every day now and help them with schoolwork, or things that I'd never normally ever do or have the ability to do every other day. And also, don't lose sight of your vision, which I've talked about in an episode I did recently. And don't lose hope, because literally there's always adversity. There's always things that you come about in your life, not just this, in business and situations. And it's very important. Hey, there's no problem if you want to put it, grieving or going through a position where you're like, hey, that's just crap and it's tough. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, because you're not human if you don't actually like hurt. Yeah. And there's times in my life where I've been on my knees going, oh, man, this is crap. Yeah. And I did not want to be in this position. But you know what? It's at that particular point where, I've grieved enough. Now stand up and find purpose, Jamie. Yeah. Reinvent yourself. Yeah. And so I'd say right now, don't give up on your vision. Don't give up on your dream. Don't give up on the fact that you've lost your job. And what do I do? Start to I guess pull your mindset out of it. So it's all mindset based, I feel, and start to find the things in your life that you can take control of, and love on them and own them, and the rest will take care of itself, I think. Yeah, love it. And I think one of the things that we've spoken about quite a few times is around the fact that it's a journey, and it's like day by day, step by step. Like I was partly joking before when I was saying that he's my role model around fitness and health and washboard abba-dabbas. But in all seriousness, like even we were talking a couple of days ago around, like I rang him and I said, hey, well, when do you, like, because I'm working out pretty hard trying to keep up with him, when do you actually your body start changing shape? And Jamie started talking to me about how it's a journey. It doesn't happen, but things are changing that you might not see physically, but that'll come into play at some point in time. And I love just what you said then around how like most of it's about the mentality of staying focused on what you need to stay focused on. Yep, definitely. So exciting. Hey, well, here's a little snapshot, and I'm sure we might do, hopefully, I'm asking because I need a job. No, not really. I'm asking that we hopefully do a few more of these episodes. But it's been a real privilege just having this chat today. And I reckon today's conversation, short and sweet, but added so much value to people out there. Yeah, totally. So, hey, if you are watching, thanks for watching Tomorrow's Luxury Living, brought to you by Baldwin Co. It's been a pleasure to host you. My name is Matt. Matt. Yeah. This is Jamie. Champion, you should be the new host of the TV show. Yeah. Don't forget to, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, subscribe, Instagram. Hit like. We'd love to see your comments. I know JB will personally reply directly to them. Any feedback that you have,
But hey, this has been fun. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, mate. You're a star.
Cheers.